And hello to all my Gemini friends. I would like to welcome you in. My name is Scott Sagent, and today I'll be doing your free psychic tarot reading for February 2022. Now today they've dialed up for you a storyline spread. It is a very large spread. It allows me to be quite accurate because it's like a bunch of little readings all in one. Going a scattershot here across the entire scope of Gemini. So basically it's all about finding the story that is right for you. There's going to be multiples of them. Sometimes more than one story will resonate with you, and that's okay if it does, but at the end of the day it's all about finding the one. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to conclude your reading. They asked me to do a spread called Telling Time. I like to do this to point out windows of opportunity, very good ones. Usually it's in the future. Sometimes it goes backwards in time, but usually they're telling you to look out for a date for a certain reason. They don't want you to miss it. So interesting to see what that will be also. So let's get right into it. We'll waste no more time. The cards are already shuffled. I do that ahead of time to save time. Go ahead and hit the like button if you're ready to have a great February, and I'm going to bring you in right here so you can watch. I like to do this live and on camera. There it goes. These are my ritual cuts. It basically cuts the deck into 3 different pieces and then puts it back together in a separate order, and they're ready to go. That satisfies the ritual aspect of tarot and is the same procedure for personal private readings. And here we go with the storyline for Gemini. I start the storyline with 5 cards and then I expand out where I need to from there. There's my first 5. I am going to need more cards. Let me see how I look on the screen here. That's going to be my end, so that's where we will wrap up. We do have a lot of blockages. Sometimes Spirit wants it that way. Sometimes they like to have me upright everything. So I'm going to do a discard right here. That's going to let me know to keep everything just the way it is because that one's upright. Okay, so this is how they want it. Now I got to get my pairings together and figure out what goes with who. Got one story here. Let me move this like that. That one's going to be a standalone. And then this will go together. So we're looking at 3 different stories here. Okay, all in view. Now I'm going to tack on cards. This is where the storyline gets a little crowded, a little big, takes up sometimes my whole table. That's okay, we'll get through it. Okay, now let me just see how we did with the camera. Okay, we're mostly in view there. You saw the first set of cards. Those are the most important. That's really what I want you to see the most. Now I just I'm pulling an Angel Oracle card for every story. Just gives us a little bit more information. I'm just going to throw them right on top so you can see. And there we go. Let's get to work. Gemini, time to go, because we got to do Telling Time, and they are sometimes some timely readings. So let's get started. Save that big one up there. I'm going to go right in front of me first. This is going to be story number 1. We want to talk about a woman here, or softer energy. Could be a softer energy male, but usually it's female. That's usually what they're saying here. Usually a woman coming in. This could be you. This could be somebody very close to you. They're saying that this person has been upside down mentally. Not like... This is not like health problem stuff. This is more like head problem stuff. Okay, so somebody just not feeling like themselves lately or out of whack. Like I said, could be you, could be somebody close to you, not sure. But they did pull the feminine energy in here first with that. Now, I guess the lead into this, or what needs to happen here, is warmth. We have the 5 of Pentacles. This is going to be an opposite definition because it's inverted here. Thank goodness. This is warmth. Caring for somebody, taking care of somebody, letting them be included, being, inclusive, all that kind of stuff. That's the way out of this. So if this is you and that's how you're feeling kind of like mentally not with it lately, that's really what you need to seek. You need to seek some warmth, spend time with your family, your friends, your loved ones, all that kind of stuff. Because what they're showing right beyond that is the second greatest card in the deck. This is the 10 of Cups, very joyous card. I call this my Disney World card. It's just that wonderful family vibe going on, that perfect, nice little environment. Now, it coming in blocked, it's saying that this is going to improve soon or later, or that it should be better feeling than it is. Like something is in the way here of this. This is almost like this should be better, and it's just, you just don't feel like it is, or something like that. So anyway, all we need to do is get this card turned around. And they give you the path on how to do that, the card before. So that's just, finding that warmth. It's that warm and fuzzy energy. That's what you need right now in February. Very largely here for my Gemini females that know what I'm talking about here in story 1. Now we do say the here and now card. They are letting me know that this is not for the future by saying this is a present deal. So I wish I would have seen that first. I would have read that slightly different. This is not joy coming in later. This is right now. So it's saying that it's a second definition I gave you of basically that this is better than you're seeing it. This is actually a better set of circumstances than, it's almost like you're taking it for granted a little bit here. Not necessarily on purpose, but that there are rewards here. There's a lot of good here that you're either missing, or I'm not sure. There's something that is blocking that second greatest card in the deck. So all we got to do is get that turned around. Get that warm and fuzzy going in your month of February here. So there we go, Gemini. There's story 1. Let's go into story 2 over here. Story number 2. Story number 2 is completely blocked. That's the way they wanted it, though. So that's what they're going to get. We have Purging of Habits. This is going to lead right into the moon cycle, guys. It's like clockwork here. Literally clockwork, because I have tick-tock. Tick-tock is the angel card. Timing. Getting this right. We have a lot of Geminis that are trying to purge something here. Usually this is bad habits. It can come through as people. It can come through as different things. Could just be purging, getting rid of something that you've been hanging on to for too long. But usually this is like something on the darker side, like a habit. It's something that you don't really want around anymore, and you're trying to get rid of it. February is the time to do that. If you've been thinking about purging anything, getting rid of something. They show impatience here, so a lot of you are just, you know what, you're over it. You're like, you know what, let's give you the example of cigarettes. I use the cigarettes example all the time, just because it's easy and people understand it. It's just like you're so sick of smelling it, but at the same time you're addicted to it, and it's an addiction. It's that devil. That's what the devil card is. It's that little devil on your shoulder saying you need this, you still need this, you need more of it, that nicotine or whatever. So you're over it though. You're ready for this purge. It's just a matter of getting the pieces in check here, getting the timing right. We talked about timing with the clockwork and tick-tock. And also here we have, there's an element of this, and I'm going to probably have to talk my way through this to understand it, because it's almost like you're giving something away here. It's the theft card, theft, loss, and deceit, except it's in reverse. So it shows that like you're almost just giving everything away, or you're letting people take from you, or something like that. There's an energy of that coming up here. So I'm not exactly sure what that is. Maybe you just need to completely just give away whatever this is. Even if it's, okay, so for example, you want to quit smoking, going back to that example, but you just bought a carton of cigarettes. Okay, just give it away. Give it away to somebody who smokes or would use it, or, I don't know. But different examples, alcohol, give it away, dump it out, whatever you got to do. So that's pretty much the giveaway aspect of it. Even if it's, even if this purge here is just something you've been hanging on to too long, like let's say a collection of something, like just something old that you've had in the closet forever, and I got to do something with this. Maybe I'm going to sell it. Well, maybe you should consider giving it away. Maybe don't be so worried about how much money you need to make from it or bring in from it. Maybe it just needs to go. Maybe the timing is right here with TikTok, with the clock, timing to purge, time to just let it go, even if it means taking less for something. So that's very much the theme there in story 2. It made a whole lot of sense to me. The way that lines up for the moon cycles, like I told you, is perfect. I like to give you guys the moon cycle forecast every single month, just so you know what's coming. Now, for example, we have the new moon coming in on February 1. That's when most people are checking this video out, my videos, and that is the best time to bring anything new into your life. It doesn't matter if it's health related, if it's like work related, a new job or new love, you're trying to find a partner, or anything, new money, you're trying to make more money, all that stuff works much better placed at the beginning of February because you have new moon energy. New moon energy is also going to come in the end of February. That's coming in from the beginning of March. Basically, it's eking into the end of the month there. So what you want to avoid when you're bringing something new in is the middle of the month here in February. February 16th, we have full moon energy. Now that has its purpose too. It's just a very different purpose. That's when you want to get something out of your life that you don't want anymore. We just talked about that here. So whether it's a person, some of you, this is a toxic person. This could be, an ex that just keeps lingering or hanging on to you and just keeps attaching themselves to you. If you need to let something like that go, or a habit, you can see that they're almost like the same thing. Energetically, they're all represented by the same card, which is that devil card. That linking up, that bondage that you're better off without. So anyway, middle of the month, best time to do any of these things, even if it's getting rid of something like we talked about, selling or giving it away. Okay, so very, very good prime time energy to use for your benefit. Middle of the month does not have to be on the 16th. Anywhere time toward the middle is really, really good for that. So there are your moon cycles, and that's exactly how they line up there. Let's get into your story 3, and then we'll do telling time. Story 3 is a big one. There's a lot of moving parts. They start by saying, really need mental authority here, really need to make up your mind, really need to almost kind of think for yourself a little here in story 3. They say that there is lessons that have been learned here. And Spirit's a little confused by why you're not moving on with these lessons. It's like you've done a pretty good job with it, but then you've got to this point and you're just kind of like looking off into the horizon. And Spirit's wondering why you're not walking off into the horizon. Why aren't you going forward with this? There's a lack of authority up here. So it's kind of decision making. For some of you, you could be being led. Other people could be making decisions for you, and maybe you need to step up more and kind of rule for yourself here, rule the roost, that kind of thing. Because it checks in very good, but they're wondering why you haven't moved forward with this. Very interesting. Let me elaborate by moving forward down the story, because like I said, it's a very large story. There's an element here of leaving something behind and not looking back. That does sound like story 2 to a point. You can see where some of these kind of wind together a little bit, and that's why general readings work, because there's different Geminis going through different levels of these same problems, and it looks like we're just describing a different level of story 2 here. Now this is a resistance to leaving something behind. Where in story 2 we talk more about impatience and I'm over it, I'm done. This is more of like you're just not emotionally there. You're not ready to leave something behind. You're in it to win it. You're kind of sticking it out, whether it's even a bad sticking it out. Hopefully it's not. We hate to see that. But when that stick it out, fight for it energy comes up, we hope that it's something that's worth fighting for. It doesn't mean that it is, but that's what comes up here in story 3. So a hesitation to leave something behind and move forward. I'm under the impression that Spirit wants you to. Because of what I just said there, plus what they said about not moving forward with your lessons that you've learned. They're saying you're ready to go here, whether you feel like you are or not. There is a decision that has been made or needs to be made soon. For most of you, I feel like this decision's already been made. It's just a matter of sticking with it. They do show some injury here. We have the 9 of Wands. This is an injury card. Maybe physical injury is what comes up first, but it can also be work-related in some form. Be a little cautious about working too hard if you work physically, like with your body, in the month of February. Just since it's a general reading, I have to throw it out there. Good time to remind you, too, that this is a general reading. We have a lot of Geminis tuning in. If you're looking for messages that are private, personal, and specific only to you, I do offer those on my website, scottsagent.com. So that injury proneness that comes in, injury prone is probably the best way to put it, because it doesn't mean that you're actually beaten up about it. But physical things can happen. Hopefully we're not talking about physical altercations here with somebody and nothing like that, because you definitely got to go if that's the deal. But anyway, decisions being made. Most of you have already kind of blown the horn on this, is what they're showing. So that's why they're confused of why you're not moving forward with these lessons you've learned. They show that you know everything too. Information is either wide open or it's all provided to you. Let me give you an example. This is, not specific, but just so you get the vibe. The High Priestess card here. Information, the window being wide open. This is like you finding out, for example, that this person that you're with for years or whatever has cheated on you or had an affair, or something bad has been going on, and you find this knowledge out. That's what this card represents. It represents the complete puzzle picture being laid out for you. It doesn't mean that it's negative, like the example I gave you. It could be finding good things out for positive. But I would argue that finding information out, even if it appears to be negative for you and is not the result that you want, actually turns out to be quite good, because then it completes your map, or it completes your puzzle. You can see things more clearly. You can make better decisions because you have all the information. If you only have little pieces and pockets of information, it's hard to make good decisions because you don't know enough. So that's really what's coming up here. So it comes up very, very strongly. They really just want you to, first of all, move when you're ready, but there's an element here where they need you to relax, which gives me the impression that a lot of you are very, very kind of like anxious about what's going on here. They show time for a nap with my Angel Oracle card, so it's almost time to just relax for a little bit, make sure, go over all the information that I just presented or that they presented and digest it, and when you're ready, make that move. The good thing about the moon cycles is it gives you time to prepare and line these things up. So if this is something that you do need to leave behind, you can target right in the middle of the month for it. So when that middle of the month comes, you can just kind of go and you're ready to go. And up here, you're ready to go. Major part there. So there is story number 3. Very interesting set for Gemini for the month of February. Let's get into your telling time. Did I use aces? I don't think I did. So I am, I'm good to go. I'm going to run the cards just how I have them because I haven't used the main cards that I need for it. So we're going to run telling time right now. Now this first set of telling time is the extremely strong vibration of it. So these are dates that you just cannot miss whatsoever, that they just want to highlight and circle and don't screw this up. Now sometimes we don't get dates coming through this first round. Looking ahead a little bit to see if I got any yet, and I don't. Sometimes they don't come the first round, and that's what we have round 2 for. We actually do have a date here. Let me tack on some time to it. It's going to be date 1. And the reason I still do 2 rounds even if I have a date first. So I am going to go a second round with this. This is going to be a lesser frequency date here. So it's just not as important as that first one, if anything comes up. Maybe they want us to focus on that first one. And sometimes when I do this, I don't get anything the second round either, which then I go into round 3, which is moving backwards in time. Not going to be the case for you, but just explaining how I do this and why. Okay, so that's exactly what we do. They want us to focus on one date, and it is major. So I'm going to cut away just so I can do the math on that and calculate it and figure out what that's all about. So I will be right back. Okay, Gemini, I am back with a messy table and some math calculated here for you guys. The date that they gave me that is very important moving forward into your 2022 is the window bracket between April 25th and May 5th. Basically the very end of April, the very beginning of May. There's very important timing there for my Geminis. Now what this is about, it's going to be different for different people, but they're talking about a couple different things here. I'm going to give it all to you. One aspect of this is very much nurturing your love corner, your family, your friends, taking care of people that are dependent on you. Also, you working on your love corner yourself. Major decisions getting made in that time frame, or things coming up that are relevant and extremely important. So how are you going to remember that date now when we're in February and we're talking about April, May? Well, I guess you could write yourself a little note, little sticky note, something important happening end of April, beginning of May. Nurture love corner. For others of you, they're letting me know that this is the return of a friend. Hopefully this is a good friend and not the kind of friend we've been talking about possibly getting rid of here in story 2 and 3. Also, if you have any kind of, people from out of town that were going to come in for the springtime and visit or something like that, that would be a really good time frame to plan for it. Or even you, if you're going somewhere else, if you could be the returning friend going home to your hometown, or going to see your parents or different family members, all that kind of stuff. So that is the time frame that they want me to present to you for those things. So nurturing your love corner and return of a friend happening end of April, beginning of May. Please remember, or make yourself a notation or something, whatever it is, so that you remember that, because Spirit wanted to do an entire spread just to get that to you. So that is going to wrap up your entire spread. I want to thank you so much for joining. Please remember to like and subscribe. I do these videos every single month. Also join the newsletter. It's at the very bottom of my website, scottsagent.com. It's free to do so. It gets you promo codes to save money on personal readings. Also, I send one newsletter a month, so you get updates. Just one a month. It's very easy. Also, like the Facebook page. I do giveaways every single month on Facebook, so don't miss it. That's going to wrap us up for February. Hope you have a great month, and I will see you soon.